Okay, I'm going to show you the best way to extract how many points students have earned from a subset of questions on a quiz. So first you're going to go to Manage Quizzes in D2L and download the quiz results. So you'll just do Export to Excel, and that'll download an Excel file. Then you'll open your Excel file, and it's going to be quite long because it shows every student and not just every question, but also every option for every question. So like this there's 5 options for question 1. So question 1 shows you all 5 options, and then it'll tell you which ones are correct or incorrect. So checked means that's the correct answer, unchecked means incorrect. And it'll show you the score that the student got. Now, this is the score for the whole question. So it's not that they got 0 points for each part, it's the whole question. So then you can notice on question 2, this is a multiple select, MS, which means that there are more than one answer that's correct. So you can see here that the first 3 options say checked, which means those are all correct answers. It's not like they got 1.6 for each of them, because you'll notice it's just out of 2 total. So 1.6 is the total score. So if we want to get rid of all these duplicates, because we're going to want to add up these scores, but we don't want them to add all these 1.6s. We're going to end up just wanting a single 1.6. So the best way I've found to do this is to go to Data. It'll look a little different on a PC, but it's the same idea. So it's in Data, and then there'll be something called Remove Duplicates. So in Mac, it's going to be this little icon with the box or the cells and the X. What I see on the PC, at least according to this website, is this Remove Duplicates option here. Again, it's under Data. So I'm going to click on the Remove Duplicates, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say List has headers so I can tell what I'm looking at. I need to select multiple things. I can't just select the question number, or else it's going to get rid of everybody else's duplicate questions. Like, it'll only end up with the first student's question number 1. So what I'm going to do is say first name and last name, or you could use username, because those should be all unique as well, or ID, any of those. But you don't want to just do last name or first name, because you might have students with the same name. So if I do both, though, it should be fine. And we could even just do org defined ID, because that for sure is separate for all the different students. Maybe we'll do all of them. Doesn't matter. And then we're going to also check question here, because that's what we want it to take the duplicates. Take out a duplicate. So if any value is different for all 4 of these categories, it's going to remove it. So we'll say OK. And it told us it removed some stuff. And now you'll see that we have our student, and we only have 1 of each question, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. And we have our second student down here, and she only has 1 of each question. So we haven't gotten rid of multiple students. So this looks like it's going well. Then you have to change the score and out of to numbers. So if you click on it, you notice there's a little note there. It says number stored as text. So if you try to use these to do formulas like add stuff up, it won't be able to do it because it's reading it as a text value instead of a number value. So sometimes you can highlight the whole thing, and I don't really want to do that though. Use the error thing. Maybe if you highlight, I guess if you just highlight the numbers, but that's going to be so many in this column. You could do that and then convert to number. Or what you can do is to highlight the columns and go to Data. We're going to say text to columns. One at a time. Okay, text to columns. And we're going to do next, and that's fine. Finish. And now it should be stored as a number. Let's see if we can add 2 of them. Yes. Okay, now it's stored as a number. So we can do the same thing here. We'll do Data. We will do text to columns. I think everything's fine for this. We can finish. And now we should have actual number values. So now we want to just take the score they earned and the out of score and add them up for a number of questions that are not in a row. So the easiest way I found to do this is to go to Insert and do a pivot table. So you will do this, and it's going to choose all the cells, which is what you want. You can do it in the existing worksheet. Just make sure it's over far enough. I'm going to actually choose T so that it's over 1 more box. Okay, so we'll say OK. All right, so now we're going to have a pivot table, and it's going to show different things. So we are going to need to have unique identifiers of students, so you can use username because that should be unique for the students. And then we are going to need to filter it by question. So it's going to start with the count of questions. This tells you there's 124 but for each user, but we need that to be a filter. So let's drag that to filter. And then we are going to want the score and out of scores, but we want to, and it does sum them. Sometimes it does count though. So if it did count, what you do is you want to right click on it and say field settings, and then you're going to change it to sum. Okay, so for example, sometimes mine has come up with count, and so that would just show you the number of questions, honestly. So if it says count, you want to change by right-clicking field settings and put it on sum. Okay, so now what this shows us is there's some overall, but we only want specific questions, so let's filter it. Okay, so we're going to choose our particular questions. Let's say we want question 64 and question 70 and question 82. All right, and you might have more than this probably. So that's going to take just those questions, and it's going to add them up and tell us how many points they could have earned, how many points they did earn. Let's add a couple more. Let's see if this is working. Okay, and yes, so this is telling us the results, and that's what you would put into, for the SLOs at least, the spreadsheet, that where you're keeping track of the points students have earned. That would be this per student, and then at the bottom there is a total possible points for that question set, and that would be this number here, the 9, which should be the same for all the students. Okay, so that's the easiest way I found in order to quickly pull the data for certain questions added up for all the different students without having to scroll through this massive spreadsheet and try to pull in formulas the different student numbers and that sort of thing.